Hey guys, Ken here. So I've earned multiple six figures with Amazon KDP and Audible, and I still earn thousands every month for my books up to this day. And more importantly, I've also coached hundreds of publishers, including students who have went from basically $0 to over $10,000 a month with their KDP businesses. I've learned firsthand what works, I've watched and helped others succeed as well, and on top of that, I've also seen exactly why books fail many different times. And so in this video, I'm going to cover the three biggest reasons that most Amazon self-publishers fail and most publishers will fail over the next 3 years. And more importantly, how to make sure you're not one of them. I promise you, if you learn and understand these three things and apply them correctly to your business, you will have better results. Let's waste no time and get right into it. And so reason number one that somebody will fail with self-publishing is that they don't actually understand keywords or topic selection. Your book topic will make or break the results of your book. If there's no demand, you lose. If there's too much competition, you won't make sales. And we have to stop relying on fancy tools and keyword scores to think for us. It's very important that you actually learn about topic selection and keywords, what a keyword really is, what makes it good, why it's good, because you can publish 100 books and get literally zero results if you don't understand topic selection. And so something very important to understand is that a keyword, a search term, and a book topic, these are all the same. If you treat these as the same thing, you will have better results because we have to think about how people actually shop on Amazon. And I did dive into this with a bit more depth in my keyword research video that I just posted a few days ago. I will leave the link below. But customers go to Amazon and they're searching up exactly what they want. They're not searching up a broad term like how to be happy and buying the first book they see. They're going and they're typing in something specific like ADHD workbook for adults, diabetic cookbook for seniors. And even if they type in different search terms or different keywords that are different variations of that, they're still looking for the same thing. And so when we treat our keyword, our search term, our book topic as the same thing, it's going to be a lot easier to pinpoint a niche down topic and ensure that when we do publish a book on it, people are going to see it and people are going to want it because it's what they're looking for. And so if you create a book on diabetic cookbook for seniors over 60, it's going to rank for any relevant search term. So no matter what search term or keyword somebody types in related to that, your book's going to get seen. And so 3 simple validation metrics to check to make sure that we do this correctly is 1, alignment. Do the books ranking underneath this search term or book topic or keyword that we just typed in match it almost exactly? This proves that people are searching it and buying those specific books. Metric number 2 is proof. I've talked about this before. We want to find anywhere from 3 to 5 books with a bestseller rank of 30,000 or less, proving that it is selling. More importantly, with less than 250 reviews. We want to find multiple instances of low reviewed books selling well. This is going to be the best proof that there is actual demand and we can compete there. More importantly, we want to also find and look at the competition. So are there 3 or fewer books that have over 700 reviews? If all the books ranking in the top 2 rows of your search term just have 5, 6, 7, 1,000 reviews plus, it's going to be extremely hard to rank high and penetrate the market, which is where all the money is when you're getting those organic sales from your organic ranking. And a shortcut to finding these topics as well is you can use the Bookbeam Niche Finder. I do, of course, go over this in my keyword research video, but essentially you can plug in all these metrics. You can find books that have low reviews with a specific bestseller rank, with a specific age, and it's going to only show you books that fall under that category. So it bypasses the searching process a little bit, and you can go straight to validation for some high potential topics. So reason number 2 that most people are going to fail over the next few years with self-publishing is that they're making books for a topic, not for a buyer. And so people are creating books for their topic and they're aligning them well. Their titles are strong. However, they're not creating books to beat their competitors because customers shopping on Amazon are comparing all their options. They're comparing the top best-selling books. They're picking the clearest winner that stands out in terms of social proof, reviews, title, cover, which one looks the part and is communicating what they want effectively. And anything that's just good enough, it's just going to blend in and get lost. And so if you want to sell, you need to be the no-brainer option beside all the competitors. And a simple framework to follow to design books that actually sell is number 1, clarity. Align perfectly with your exact search term so there's no confusion. Your customer knows it's for them. Have some sort of mechanism, so some differentiating factor that teaches the topic better, faster, easier than all the books beside you. And on top of that, we can use something that I call the add-on method. So add some sort of statement or power to the start and the end of your title and subtitle and just give it a bit more to allow it to stand out. A few examples of this is, let's say that our book topic is diabetic cookbook for beginners. At the start, instead of just titling it diabetic cookbook for beginners, we can have the ultimate diabetic cookbook for beginners, the complete, the simplified, the 5 ingredient. So if all the other books are just simply diabetic cookbook for X and you add this starting word or starting phrase is going to immediately interrupt the person searching around and scanning and draw attention to your book. And then on top of that, at the end of our title and our subtitle, we can add some more features that just make it the better solution compared to other competitors. These are things like main pain points, find out exactly what the customer is dealing with, target those, add numbers, add time frames in X days, in 5 minutes a day, 5 ingredients. It works well as well. And you want to also use trigger words, so simple, low impact, and just find a better way to describe how your book is teaching the topic so it clearly stands out and it's a better solution for them. And essentially, you just want to be the better option of the same thing that everyone else is already doing. We want to make sure that we are aligned with our topic, but we're clearly the better option with these little nuanced details. And after you do refine and create your book, you can do what I call the top 5 test. So if someone is looking at the top 5 ranking books in your search term, maybe it's your top row ranking, does your title pattern interrupt them? Does it draw attention to it and clearly stands out from the competitors? Does it speak directly to what they want and the outcome that they're looking for? And more importantly, does it solve the problem better, faster, and simpler than the competitors? Because if you're pattern interrupting them, you're grabbing their attention, you're speaking directly to what they want, and you're solving their problem, and you're delivering the solution way better than everyone else, why would they not click your book? And this is also how you bypass the reviews. When you do this effectively, you don't need to have 2, 3, 4, 500 reviews to sell, because people will decide that your book is what they want. If your book is the one that they want, it doesn't matter if another book has more reviews because it's not what they want. So make sure you're actually designing books to sell, not just align or rank in your topic. And so reason number 3 that somebody would fail with Amazon KDP over the next few years is they're not adopting AI. More importantly, adopting it correctly. So AI is annoying, trust me, I get it, but it's still leverage. And if you want to succeed in basically any industry, you need to adapt to the fastest moving part of that industry. And although a lot of people are creating garbage with AI, when used properly, it makes Amazon KDP cheaper, faster, it gives you more attempts so you can actually have more of a chance to succeed rather than the latter, which is spending 6 months creating a book, thousands of dollars on freelancers, and just putting so much more weight on each individual book, making it so much harder. And so a simple rule is that AI will speed up whatever you're doing. So it's also going to speed up garbage. So if you know what makes a good book, you know how to use it correctly, and you know a good writing sequence, you're still going to create high quality products that people love. Just because it's AI doesn't mean that it's bad, because I've also seen some of my students in the past spend thousands of dollars on ghostwriters just to get back a book that's basically unusable. And so quality is king, and AI just helps you create better books faster. And so a simple process to go through when creating books with AI is we want to start with, of course, finding a good topic. More importantly, we want to do strong topic research, analyze the best-selling competitors in your space, look at their descriptions, their A+ content, their reviews, their table of contents, compile all this information into a document and get AI to analyze it for you. From there, we can see what other people are doing, what baseline we need to have to align with the topic well, and more importantly, how we can differentiate ourselves from them, have a better angle, a better promise, a better structure. And AI is really good at doing this. On top of that, once we have our structure down, we can then go in and actually write and create our book. More importantly, we have to go through a very thorough prompting sequence that removes the AI voice. AI is only bad because people just prompt it basically with no prompts and then just publish that. When you know what good writing is and you're moving through a multi-level prompting system, you're going to end up with a really good product. And then when you pair that with multi-level editing and really polishing up your manuscript to a final draft, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between a ghostwriter or an AI written book. And so some tools that are worth checking out is ChatGPT. Their image generation is getting very, very good for things like book covers, A+ content modules, and anything else. I also recommend checking out Spiral. This, in my opinion, is the best writing tool for AI. Grammarly is also very, very good for editing. They have lots of humanizer and AI voice reversal tools that actually work very, very well. You can also create your own voice based on previous texts that you've wrote. A little bit of a shameless plug, but another thing worth checking out is my free email course, which I will leave linked below. It delivers you 12 lessons over 12 days, going over my entire publishing process and the strategy behind it. And it's extremely thorough, and you will learn a lot about how I publish and how I've gotten results. The main takeaway from this video is that if you nail your keywords, you find good book topics, you build books that are designed to sell, and you use AI correctly to streamline your process and save money, you're going to give yourself an insane competitive advantage over the next 12 months and beyond. And so most publishers aren't nailing these 3 things, which is why they're already failing or they're going to fail. So make sure you nail them as they are the foundation of your business moving forward. That's it for this video. One more thing, if you do want me to walk you through my entire process for creating books with AI, right from topic research to writing to covers, A+ content, and more, as well as all the prompts I use behind it, then you can check out my AI Book Creation Accelerator Challenge. It's also going to be linked below. That's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe for more no-nonsense Amazon KP advice. See you in the next one.